Childhood can shape us in powerful ways, sometimes in ways we don't even realize until years later. A new study from China looked at how different types of childhood experiences affect mental health, specifically obsessive-compulsive symptoms in college students. Now, when we hear childhood trauma, we often think of it as one big, heavy thing. But this study makes a really important distinction. It separates trauma into abuse, like emotional, physical, or sexual harm, and neglect, meaning not getting the care, attention, or emotional support a child needs. Over 3 years, researchers followed more than 3,500 college students. They measured levels of obsessive-compulsive symptoms, things like repetitive thoughts or urges, and looked at how those levels changed over time. Here's what they found. The biggest predictor of ongoing obsessive thoughts and behaviors wasn't neglect. It was abuse. Students who had experienced abuse started out with more symptoms, and those symptoms didn't drop off as quickly over time. In fact, the pattern looked like a U-shape. Symptoms started high, went down a bit, then crept back up. On the other hand, students who reported neglect didn't follow this same pattern. Neglect didn't seem to predict who would develop or continue having obsessive-compulsive symptoms. Why might this be? Abuse is what researchers call a threat-based experience. It often causes the brain to become more sensitive to fear and danger, which is closely linked to obsessive-compulsive tendencies. People might become hyper-focused on trying to prevent bad things from happening, like checking or repeating actions, even when there's no real risk. Neglect is different. It's more about missing out on emotional growth or connection, which may affect mental health in other ways, but not in this specific obsessive pattern. The study also looked at whether stress in the present day had an effect, and it did. Students who felt more recent stress were also more likely to have obsessive symptoms, showing that what's happening now can add to what happened then. So what does this mean for people today? It means that if you struggle with obsessive thoughts or compulsions, and if you've been through emotional or physical abuse, your experience matters. There's a connection, and that understanding might help guide treatment. It also means we need to look beyond one-size-fits-all labels like childhood trauma. Different types of early pain can affect us in different ways, and understanding those details can help us heal more effectively. And finally, it shows that symptoms don't always move in a straight line. They can get better, then come back again. That doesn't mean you've failed, it means you're human, and your story is still unfolding.